A good day to everyone. Today, I'm going to teach you radicals. This is an example of a radical which has three parts: the index, the radical sign, and the radicand. I'll explain it further. The index is the root you have to get, or that's basically the meaning of a index. The index is the root you have to get. For example, square root, cube root, fourth root, and stream by Ben and Ben. The index is again the root you have to get. So for example, we have the number 625, but it has a square root. The answer here is 25 because the square root of 625 is 25. The second part we're going to talk about is the radicand. In simple terms, the radicand is just the number that is inside the radical sign. For example, like the example kanina, the square root of 625 is 25. The number 625 is what you call the radicand because it's inside of a radical sign. Janelle, ano ba yung radical sign na yan? Kanina ka pa dyan. This is the radical sign, which is the one that separates the index from the radicand. That is the radical sign. And that is mostly parts and basic parts of a radical. In simplifying radicals, there is always this term as principal root. So what is this principal root? Well, Jimmy or whatever, principal root is just the positive answer or the positive root in any given radical. So for example, 625. Principal root of that is just positive 25. Here is a much harder example. Kahit ako hindi ko yan kaya isa. Here is an example that is low-key hard, but it's really just easy to understand. Square root of 49, x to the 4th power and y to the 8th power. We just get the square root of each variable, which 49 is just 7. We just divide by the index, which is 2. Whenever we say square root, the index will always be 2. And cube root, the index will always be 3, and so on and so on. 4 divided by 2 is just 2, so x squared. And 8 divided by 2 is just y to the 4th power, and that is your answer. But we are getting the principal root, so of course it's gonna be positive, and that's very much it. Short recap. This is an example of a radical. The variable n is just the index or the root you have to get. Radicand, which is just inside of this radical sign. Lastly is the radical sign, which is just the one that separates the index and the radicand. Simplifying radicals, such as the square root of 625, is just positive 25. If we are getting, again, the principal root of a radical. And that is all for our lesson today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. And the next time, it's your girl, Janelle. Yeah. Thanks for watching.